My name is Vaishali Deshwal, and I'm working as an assistant professor at AKGEC Engineering College, Ghaziabad. So today in this session, I will be discussing the Unit 1 of Artificial Intelligence, and the code is KAI 501. So these are some of the contents which I will be discussing in this PPT. That is the definition of AI, and then the branches of artificial intelligence, future of AI and history of AI, then intelligent agent and the characteristics of intelligent agent, and what are the agents and what are the types of agents. So let's move further. So first we'll discuss that what is AI. If we talk on the broad level, then I will put AI on the top, and then under AI we'll discuss machine learning. We can say machine learning is a subset of AI, and under machine learning we'll discuss deep learning. We can say that deep learning is the subset of machine learning, and machine learning is a subset of AI. So what is an AI? The study of how to make computers to do things at the moment the peoples are better. So artificial intelligence, we can say it's an ability of a computer to act like a human being, and we are making the major aim of artificial intelligence is to make some intelligent systems. So the systems which can think like humans and which can act like humans and can think rationally and can act rationally. Or there are several definitions of artificial intelligence. One more definition I will be discussing here is that it is an area of the computer science that emphasizes the creation of intelligent machines that works and react like humans. So it's very important, or you can say very indispensable part nowadays of technology industry, and the goal of AI is to create the algorithms, the intelligent systems that can learn from the reason and data and make predictions and take action. So machine learning is also about making predictions in future predictions, and AI it learns from data and helps making future. For example, like weather forecasting, the number of cases of coronavirus or any kind of pandemic in future. Okay. So before moving further, there are some terminologies we should discuss, and we should know before learning that what is an agent and what are the types of agent and other things. So first is intelligence. So there are very similar things, I can say, that is the data and knowledge and intelligence. So data is the data which is in unstructured format, we can say that is data. But when the data is in meaningful form, we can, or you can say the information it is. So the data in the meaningful way refers to information or knowledge, and the ability to apply that knowledge in order to perform better in an environment is the intelligence. Now the AI, so the next terminology here, or you can say the next term is AI. We have already discussed it, that what is an AI. So again, it's a study in the construction of some agents or the intelligent systems programs that perform well in a given environment. Environment is very indispensable term. While we discuss AI, these terms, they're very common. We'll discuss, for example, is an agent, what is an agent, what is an environment, and what are the actuators, what are the sensors. We'll discuss these terms later on. So just understand that the AI, it's a study of the agent programs or the constructions of the agent programs that perform well in a given environment. Environment is nothing but you can say that whatever surrounds us is the environment. For example, a given architecture, you can say the agent architecture. So next term is agent. Agent is an entity that takes action in response to some percepts from an environment. Suppose I am taking some perception from the environment. Perception is like input, whatever I am getting from the environment, and in response to that particular perception, I am giving some response. So this is the role of an agent, you can say. Now next term is rationality. So rationality is the property of a system which does the right things given what it knows. Suppose if I am training a machine, so I am giving the data on the basis of which, or the machine itself identify on the basis of knowledge what it has, like what is wrong and what is right, and on the basis of that it will take some decision. So that property of the system is known as rationality. Now the last term is logical reasoning. You've also heard this terminology in reasoning, like when we do aptitude, so there is a there is reasoning also, there is a part called reasoning. So in this in reasoning we have some of these statements, and on the basis of those old statements we have to inherit some of the information. I can say we have to make some statement on the basis of the previous information we are having. So the logical reasoning is nothing but a process of forming the new sentences from the old one. Means I am just giving some new information on the basis of the previous one, whatever I am having. So from the new from the old sentences I am forming the new sentences. That's an example of logical reasoning, I can say. Okay, so next we will discuss that what are the branches of AI. So all these terminologies we heard in today's days, like machine learning and deep learning, so all these terms, they comes under AI. As I said before, that on the broader level we'll talk about AI, artificial intelligence, and under AI we will discuss machine learning, or we'll study machine learning, and under machine learning we have deep learning. So I can say that deep learning is a subset of machine learning, and machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence. Okay, so AI can be used to solve some real world problem, as we can say see in today's world. That if we have some I can give you an example of machine learning here, but that's later on. So we'll see some of the branches here as mentioned in on the slide. That is the machine learning, deep learning is there, then NLP is there, natural language processing, then robotics and expert systems, and fuzzy logic. So moving on, first we'll discuss that what is machine learning. So as we have said, as I've said before, that machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence, or you can say subfield of artificial intelligence, that gives the computer the ability to learn without explicitly programmed. Okay, so there are three categories, I can say, under machine learning. So in this there are several types of the learnings, and in this there are three types of learning mainly. First, supervised, second is unsupervised, and reinforcement. So firstly we'll discuss that what is this supervised learning is. Okay, so supervised learning is, as its name suggests, that there is always a supervisor in this learning. Means who acts as a teacher, who taught the machine that what to do and what not. So basically supervised learning is when we teach or train the machine using data that is well labeled. What I mean that the data is labeled is that if I have some input as X, so I have output in the corresponding blocks related to that input. Means I'm just giving the data to the machine which has input and output, you can say. For example, if I'm taking the example of pandemic, let's take the example of coronavirus. So I have some of the data is like I have two columns. So in first column I have some dates, and in the second column I have the number of cases corresponding to the dates. Suppose on 9th of February 2022 I have this much of cases, then on the next month I have this much of the cases. So such type of data I'm having in this case. This is just an example to make you better understand. So and from this data I want to predict the number of cases for the next month, what will be the number of cases on those particular dates. So here I'm using the labeled data. Means I'm just giving a pattern to a machine. You can understand that from the labeled data is that there is a supervision. You can say you are supervising the machine that this is the input and this is the corresponding output. Okay, so in this supervised learning we have two categories of algorithms. First is the classification and second is the regression. So the basic difference between the classification and the regression is that when the output variable, obviously you want to predict something in case of the machine learning, so this is the major aim in machine learning. And when becomes these categories like the classification and the regression is there, so the basic difference we should know that when the output variable is categorical, then we can say that is the classification, and when the output variable which we want to predict is the real number, for example dollar or the number of cases, the numerical value you can say, that comes under the regression category. Okay, so just let's have a look on the definition also. So supervised learning can be classified into the two categories. The first one is the classification and second is the regression. So classification problem is when the output variable is categorical. For example, I have two categories. I can have two categories, three categories, or four categories. For example, red, blue, disease, no disease, true, false, like that. So what is the regression? So regression problem is when the output variable is the real value. So like I have just given an example of the coronavirus pandemic. In that, we are going to predict the number of cases, and the number of cases will be a numeric value. It is not the categorical one. So this problem I can say that it's a regression problem. Means, for example, dollar, weights, etc., etc. Okay. Now moving further, so this is the unsupervised learning, and as the name suggests that there is no supervision, there's no teacher. I'm just giving the data, the unstructured data, to the machine, and then the machine has to find out the several patterns based on the similarities and the differences between the data and categorize the data. So here it's a training. The unsupervised learning is a training of machine using information that is neither classified nor labeled. Means you're using the non-labeled data to train your machine and allowing the algorithm to act on that particular information without any guidance. So it can be categorized again just like the supervised one. So it can be categorized into the two categories. The first one is the clustering and second one is the association. So clustering is where when you want to discover the inherent grouping in the data. For example, I'm just giving the some unstructured data to the machine, and on the basis of the similarities between the data, we are just grouping the data. The similar data can be categorized in a group one, under group one, and then again some group of the data can be categorized as group two, like this only. So such as grouping customers on the basis of their purchasing behavior. Second is association. So association rule learning problem is where you want to discover the rules that describe the large portions of your data. For example, people that buy X, they also tend to buy Y. For example, if a person, or it has been seen that if a person wants to buy or tend to buy bread, then he tend to buy milk also. So such type of the association is used to find out in this category, the association category, and it comes under unsupervised learning. Now moving on, the next is deep learning. Deep learning is a subset of machine learning, I can say, and it's a process of implementing the neural network. So if I talk about the deep learning, then it's the major concept we are using in deep learning is the neural networks, the neurons, which are there are millions of neurons in our brain. So the concept of the neurons is very major in deep learning, and deep learning is all about the neural network. So it's a process of implementing the neural network on high dimensional data to gain insights and form solutions. And I can say it's an advanced field of machine learning that can be used to solve more complex problems, and it's a very indispensable problem or learning, you can say, which can be applied in several healthcare problems, to solve the agriculture problems, to predict the different kinds of the diseases. And the several papers and the works has already been published using several machine learning algorithms, like CNN is there, ANN is there, to solve some of the complex problems. So deep learning is the logic behind the face verification algorithms on Facebook and self-driving cars, the virtual assistants like Siri, and so on. There are so many examples of this. Okay. So moving on, the next branch is the NLP, that stands for the natural language, language processing. So it refers to the science of drawing insights from natural human language in order to communicate with machines and grow business. So Twitter using the NLP to filter out the terroristic language and the tweets, and the Amazon also uses NLP to understand the customer reviews. Also, the customer reviews, they are in the normal language. It can be in English, it can be in Hindi, and it will be very difficult for the computer or for a machine to understand such type of the language. So here the NLP, natural language processing, is used to make the machine understandable and the reviews of the customer and improve the user experience on the basis of those reviews. Okay, next slide is about robotics. Robotics is the very indispensable branch of the artificial intelligence, which focuses on different branches and the applications of robot mainly. So AI robots, they are artificial agents acting in the real world environment to produce results by just taking the accountable actions. And the example, when it comes to the example of artificial intelligence and robot, then Sophia, the humanoid, I can say that it's the most advanced robot. So Sophia, the humanoid, is a very good example of artificial intelligence in robot. The next branch is fuzzy logic. So it's an advanced topic in Boolean one, I can say. So when we talk about the Boolean algebra, then the output can be true and false. So it can be categorized like if it can be yes, it can be no, but it cannot be in between yes and no. It can be 0, it can be 1, but not 0.5. So in fuzzy logic, we'll take these values between 0 and 1, something like that. So fuzzy logic is a computing approach based on the principles of degree of truth, instead of just usual computer logic, that is the Boolean in nature. As I've said before, that Boolean is about the two things, that whether a statement, suppose I'm taking a statement and it can be true, it can be false, but what if it is somewhere in between, like I can take a value 0 or 1. What if I have to take a value in between 0 and 1? So there comes this logic, that is the fuzzy logic, is used and it has several applications. It is used in the medical field to solve complex problems that involves decision making. They can also be used in some gearboxes, the vehicle environment control, and so on. So our next topic is the future of artificial intelligence, and I don't think that there is anything or any field in which I cannot use artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence has several applications. It can be used in transportation, manufacturing, the healthcare sector, and the agriculture, and it is used to solve several kinds of the problems, the most complex problems. So transportation, in case of the transportation, although it could take a decade or more to perfect them, but the autonomous cars, they'll take one day ferry us from place to place, definitely. So second is manufacturing. Manufacturing is artificial intelligence powered robot. They work alongside the humans to perform a limited range of tasks. For example, assembly is there, assembling the different kinds of the products in the factories, and stacking, predictive analysis, sensors. So several type of the work, and these days those kinds of the work, they can be performed by machines in factories. So AI has several applications in manufacturing also. Now healthcare. In healthcare, AI is in the nascent field, I can say. So diseases, they are more quickly and accurately diagnosed, and the diagnosis with the artificial intelligence is quite automated, and it's more accurate, and it will be more quick in comparison to that if it is done by a human. So drug discovery is sped up and streamlined, and virtual nursing assistant monitor patients. Big data analysis helps to create more personalized patient experience. So it has several applications in the healthcare, in the automation, in prediction of the several number of the diseases on the basis of on the basis of symptoms a person is having. So if a person is having 5 to 6 symptoms, then a machine will be able to categorize that whether the person is having that particular problem, is having that particular disease or not. So that's wonderful. Okay, so next is the education. That is the fourth point, education. So textbooks, they are digitized with the help of artificial intelligence, and early stage virtual tutors, they assist the human instructors, and facial analysis gauges the emotions of the students to help determine that who is struggling, who is bored, and better tailor the experience to their individual needs. Then media is about generalism. Generalism is harnessing artificial intelligence too, and it is using this technique in a very beneficial way, you can say. So it will continue to benefit from it. And Bloomberg, it uses cyborg technology to help make quick sense of complex financial reports. So it's very helpful in the area of media also. Now the next application, or you can say the future in which the AI has its role, we can say, is the customer service. And that is last but not the least, that is the Google is working on the AI assistant that can place human-like calls to make the appointments. I can say it can be a parlor, it can be hospital, it can be anything. So it can be our neighborhood hair salon. So in addition to the words, the system understands the context and the nuisance. Next topic is the history of artificial intelligence, and there are several milestones in the history of AI, and now AI comes to a remarkable level. So there are several milestones, or you can say there are certain facts or certain discoveries which are the basis of the discovery of artificial intelligence. So let's discuss one by one. So these are some of the milestones as shown on the as it is showing in the screen. So here are some of the milestones in the history of AI, which defines the journey from AI generation to till date development. So the first is the maturation of AI. The period is 1943 to 1952. So the first is the first duration, or we can say the year, that is 1943. So the first work which was recognized as artificial intelligence, it was by Warren McCulloch and Walter Pitts in 1943, and they both proposed a model of artificial neurons. So that's a major achievement in the year 1943. Secondly, in 1950, the Alan Turing proposed a test. So this test can check the machine ability to exhibit the intelligent behavior equivalent to the human intelligence, which is known as Turing test. So the Turing test is a major achievement, you can say, in the field of artificial intelligence in the year 1950, or just another milestone in 1950. Then the second subheading is the birth of artificial intelligence. That is the 1952. The duration is 1952 and 1956. So in 1955, and Ellen Newell and the Simon, they created the first artificial intelligence program, and the name was Logic Theorist. So it was the first artificial intelligence program and was created by the two scientists in the year 1955. Next we have 1956. So artificial intelligence first adapted by the American computer scientist. The name is John McCarthy at the Dartmouth conference. So it was in year 1956. The next we have the next duration, 1956 to 1974. This duration refers to as the golden year, and as there was a enthusiasm within the AI researchers. So in the year 1966, the first chatbot, the named Eliza, it was created in 1966. Then in 1972, the first intelligent humanoid robot, it was first built in Japan, and the name was Webot. So WABOT 1. So the name was Wabot and was the first intelligent humanoid robot. It was not able to perform the very advanced tasks, but yes, it was the first intelligent humanoid robot, I can say, in the year 1972. So this duration 1956-1974 refers as the golden years, and that's it. There were the two major discoveries. The first one is the ELISA, and second is Wabot 1 that was built in Japan. Moving on further, the duration 1974 to 1980, it was referred as the first AI winter. So winter refers to the duration where the scientists dealt with the severe shortage of funding from the government for the AI researchers. So the AI winter, or this duration, it just refers to the shortage of funding for the AI researchers, as nobody was taking interest. Not many people was taking interest in this field, and it was quite expensive to spend on its research. So that is the reason that why there was a further shortage of funding from the government side. So again, in the year 1980 to 87, there was a boom of AI, and the first national conference of the American Association of Artificial Intelligence, it was held at Stanford University. So yes, it was a major thing in AI in the duration at 1980 to 1987. And then the next is the emergence of intelligent agent. The duration was 1993 to 2001. So in 1997, IBM Deep Blue beats world chess champion Gary. So that was a major achievement in the history of artificial intelligence, that this Deep Blue, that is an agent, it was created by IBM, and it beats this world chess champion in the year 1997. In 2002, for the first time, AI entered the home in the form of Roomba. Roomba is a vacuum cleaner, or you can say it's an agent. In artificial intelligence, we studied several kinds of the problems. The problems can be of the cleaner, or we can take several problems like the eight puzzle problem is there, and queen problem is there. So all these problems, they are referred as a toy problem, and these kind of the problems, they are used to solve, or you can say to compare several kinds of the algorithm, that which algorithm is best to which problem. So a vacuum cleaner Roomba, so it's an AI agent and was first created in the year 2002. Next we have 2012. In the year 2012, Google has launched a feature, Android app feature, that is a Google Now, and that is again nothing but an agent, AI agent. Then in the year 2018, there was a project name is Debater, and was from IBM, and performed extremely well. The major task of this project Debater is to debate on the several complex issues. It also defeats some of the major debater there and performed extremely well. And now we can say that the AI has developed to a very remarkable level. So this is all about the history of artificial intelligence. All you need to learn from the history of artificial intelligence, and from the exam point of view, you just need to remember some of the major achievements, some of the major inventions, the discoveries, the name of the agents, and in which year they were discovered. And that's it about the history of artificial intelligence. So the next topic, and the very important topic which comes into picture, is the intelligent agent. So intelligent agent is the independent entity. As we've already studied that there's an agent, and that refers to an entity. So it's an autonomous entity which acts upon the environment using sensors and actuators. So there are several terminologies like sensors, actuators, and these terminologies we'll discuss later on before moving further. So it is very indispensable to understand such terminologies to understand the concept better. So we'll learn them. Okay, so using sensors and actuators, the agent, it acts upon the environment. And why? for achieving the goals. For achieving the goals, it is acting on the environment. Okay. Next, an intelligent agent task is to learn from the environment to achieve their goals in a better way. So these are some of the characteristics of intelligent agent. And these are 4. The first one is the situatedness. Situatedness, that the agent is learning from the environment and it is situated in the environment. So the environment is nothing but the environment is all of the things, or refers to all the things which surrounds an agent, from which the agent can take the input through his sensors. So the situatedness is the agent receives some form of the sensory input from its environment and it performs some actions that changes its environment in some way. So we'll discuss that what is an agent and what is an environment and what are the types of environment, so that there we'll learn the several type of the environment, and there's a dynamic environment also. So the environment which changes with the time, that is a dynamic one, and which no, that is a static one. So in the very first line, you can see that with the changes in its environment, it performs the action. Means the agent is able to change its action on the basis of the changes of the environment. That is the dynamic environment. Second is autonomy. Autonomy, the agent can act without direct intervention by the humans. Means it can act independently without any kind of the intervention by any human or agent, and that it has control over its own action in the internal state. Means it is responsible for its own decisions. There's no major intervention by any other agent or human. Then third is sociability. The agent is capable of interacting in a peer-to-peer manner with the other agent and with humans. Then the fourth characteristics of an intelligent agent is that the agent should be capable of reacting flexibly to changes in its environment. Environment which changes, that refers to the dynamic environment, and the agent is capable of reacting flexibly to changes in its environment. And then second is taking goal-directed initiative, that is proactive and when appropriate. And the third point is that it can learn from its own experience and its environment and interaction with the agents. So okay, this is it for this session, and discuss the type of the agents, what is the environment, and what are the types of the environment in the next session. So thank you.